This is the Horror Movie Project Podcast, and joining us today is, you can just say...
Dan from Filmz.
We also have a special guest joining us today.
Dr.Movie91, what's up, movie fanatics?
He's also got a YouTube and his own podcast. If you want to plug those in here, tell everyone about them, and they can find you there.
Yeah, I have a YouTube channel. I do everything Blu-rays, movie-related, all that good stuff, just like, I'm just really getting into the horror stuff, too. Actually, more and more, it seems like, every year. We did have a podcast that's actually on hold right now, due to actually in the process of trying to buy a house and stepping it up, just got married and all that fun stuff. But, yeah, I do a little bit of everything on my channel. I started doing more video game stuff as well, so youtube.com/Dr.Movie91. I'm sure the link will be in the description, or I'll give it over to you guys. But thanks, gentlemen, for having me on this episode.
Yeah, thanks for joining us, man.
Yep, thanks. And I'm Dead Michael. Yeah, actually we're gonna do a news segment, talking about the new Friday the 13th game that just got released. Yeah, Dr.Movie, you said 91. You said that you bought it or you own it.
Yeah, I got it. I want to say release day. Well, so they said release day. It didn't really come out. They've had so many problems with it, but yeah, I got it on release day. It was a game, an independent film company game. If you guys don't know anything about it, they created finally something we've been asking for. All of us horror fans have been asking for years. Friday the 13th, and it's a very simple game. Just if you guys don't care, quick rundown on what it is. It's you're either a counselor or you're Jason. You have to survive if you're a counselor, and if you're Jason, you kill people. So it's real simple. It's real fun. The gaming mechanics are great. It's just they've been having a lot of problems with it for Xbox especially. It's available on Xbox, PlayStation, and Steam, so you can get it on all your favorite consoles or computer.
Yeah, I really hope they come out with a physical copy on it. I really do.
Yeah, that's one thing I know. If you backed it up, there was a lot of people that backed this up, which is good, because I know a lot of people wanted this game. They had some special things, like you get a Tom Savini skin, which was designed just from Tom Savini, obviously. You could get a physical copy, which, sadly, they said that there's no time soon that they're going to be able to do a physical copy, which doesn't make sense because they did earn enough money to get the story mode, which is another thing that if they made enough money and got backed up enough, we would get a story mode on top of the online play, which is only available right now. It's just online stuff. But so hopefully we do get a physical copy here soon enough, because I don't know about you gentlemen, but I know me, I really like having the physical media.
I can say for that price, you want a physical copy. I never trust, the servers holding your content like that. Anything can happen.
Right, and it does make me nervous to go off what you're saying to servers. One of the big problems that they're having right now for Xbox users is a lot of dashboarding. When you're in the middle of the game, it just crashes and it basically closes the game up, or it physically freezes, or you lose connection to hosts real easily. And they've kind of explained it. You can look more into it on your own time, but if you just go to Facebook or Twitter, they tweet and they give you updates constantly on social media. So, but it's a great game, but the dashboarding and other problems that they have with it, it's kind of a nuisance when you're trying to play and you want to level up to unlock more Jasons, you want to unlock more counselors and perks and things like that. So, but it's a fun game to play at least. It just needs some work.
So if we're interested in it, we should wait on it for a little while until everything's fixed, huh?
Yeah, they just had a major update 2-3 days ago, matter of fact, and it was basically a "we're sorry we screwed up" update. And what you got is you got the NES classic Jason skin, you got some counselor outfits, you got 13,000 CP, which is basically spending money. They're spending money in there to get perks and other things. And right now, currently, it's the double XP weekend. So it started yesterday at 9 o'clock, and it'll go till Monday till 9 o'clock Eastern time.
Yeah, how much were the Tom Savini skins going for? Weren't they like $300 like on eBay? I saw a couple go off. Like, they're a lot.
Yeah, which if you were a backer and you were lucky enough to get it, because a lot of people didn't get the skin, that's another story in itself, but what didn't make any sense is that a lot of people didn't get it, and then the people that did get it, they didn't even use it. They were selling them on eBay for $400.
And you'll get that with people back in movies too. You know, you'll get this poster signed, you'll get that, and they'll just back it to resell. So it happens in the world of backing any kind of product like that.
Yeah, I guess that. Never really think about that, but yeah. I did.
It's kind of like people go to conventions and get an autograph just to sell. You know, they don't really care.
True. But all in all, if you guys, I highly recommend it, and anybody listening, I highly recommend it. It's fun. It's $40. I don't know if we mentioned that or not, but it's $40. It's not. I mean, it's not bad. Like I said, the game itself is fun. It's replayable. Like I mean, I've already put. I actually looked on it last night. I put 58 hours into it already. Nice. So, I mean, I just basically proves I have no life. That's all that shows.
Let me ask you this: if I go and buy that game right now for $40, do I get anything extra, or do I just get the basic stuff?
No, you would get the basic stuff, and you would get the NES skin. You would get the points. Actually, though, it's kind of funny. I'm glad you brought that up. My wife wouldn't. She's been watching me play it, so she wanted to check it out. So we signed her into her name, and she did not get the 13,000 spending points, which is weird. So I don't know if that was because she never played it before, but she did get the skin and double XP because she played, and I could tell, you know, she was getting the double XP, so it was working.
So the points were just, I'm sorry, thank you for playing for the people that were already playing the game.
Yeah, it was a sorry to the, I guess we'll say the gaming/horror community, because, I mean, I know a lot of people that are not big gamers, and they're just going wild over this game, too. So, yeah, it was a sorry we screwed up big time. And the reason why they screwed up, to just touch on that, is because on launch day, it didn't get launched until, like, PlayStation, when it was launched, didn't get it till the next day, early in the morning, and Xbox, it was like 2 days later. And then, for Xbox, like, prime example, what we're dealing with this last update, with the I'm sorry I messed up update, it was supposed to be released on, I want to say, Wednesday, or no, 20th, Tuesday. It was on Tuesday the 20th. We didn't get it until the 22nd or 21st, one of those days, because they couldn't get it approved by Microsoft, but because there were so many bugs from the initial launch anyway. So it's kind of a nasty mess.
I think I saw stuff for a week or two on, you know, Facebook groups still saying that, you know, people couldn't connect or they're getting kicked out, and it was still just a mess for at least a week after it did finally release.
Yeah, that was pretty much my whole feed too, was just Friday the 13th. I just saw it all over.
Filmz, I said, you know, totally wait. If you want to buy it, wait. I highly recommend the game, but let's get a couple more updates in there first. Let them patch and fix and get the bugs out. They are a small indie company. I respect that. But this, I think, a lot of people put this game on a high pedestal because it is one of the most iconic slasher films of all time, based on, well, the franchise alone. So,
I mean, kind of like you're saying, at least there is a company out there trying to accommodate what we want, you know?
Definitely. I mean, they had a lot to handle, because not only did they have to listen to gamers and create something that gamers like, they had to make something accurate for horror fans. I mean, Crystal Lake and Higgins Haven are two of the maps on there, and Packanack is the third map, and I'll tell you what, I watched part 2, and Packanack was dead on. It was amazing how they did it. And it's, you know, it's really cool. And then you get part 2's Jason, they're not all the Jasons are in there right now, but, like, it's really cool. I mean, they look great. The counselors are fun to be.
And, like, Kane Hodder also, he did, like, the moves for it, didn't he?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I mean, Tom Savini, Kane Hodder, there was a lot of people that really wanted this game to happen. And
so it sounds like a movie you can play.
It's exactly a movie that you can play. I know me personally, and my wife said this too last night, that when when you play, for the first few times you play, you get that unsettling feeling, because when Jason gets close, you hear the music, you know, you keep checking behind you, because it's a dark, gritty atmosphere, and it's just like a movie. So it's good at keeping you on your toes and giving you that kind of fear factor, and it's really cool how it works. It's like if you play, I don't know, any of the other classic horror games like Outlast or something that's scared the living crap out of you. This one,
I remember one that scared me used to be The Suffering on a Xbox. You guys ever played that?
Yeah, I've never played it.
Oh man, yeah, those games are really, really creepy. But aside from that, I can't really think of anything.
Well, also, didn't Dead by Daylight, they didn't have the Michael Myers then come out for the Xbox and One and PS4s, like, because that, I know you have to get it for online, like where you can play as Michael Myers and kill people and stuff.
Yeah, Dead by Daylight is another game that is really good. It's another horror survival type game. And on June 20th, they released the Halloween DLC. And you actually do, yes, you get to be Michael Myers, but there's more to it. They added a playable character. They added Lori, which is so cool. She has like special perks and things like that, which is really cool. I've never played Dead by Daylight, but after seeing the video of the DLC and seeing Michael Myers and playing Friday the 13th, this really wants me to buy that game and buy that DLC. And you're still paying under what you would pay for F-13, because the game itself is $25-$30 for Dead by Daylight. The DLC is only $7. So
Nice.
I'm hearing a lot of people say that they like that one better than Friday the 13th lately. You know, when it first came out, they were kind of wary of it, but now they're starting to like it more. So,
yeah, like I've said, I've seen gameplay of it. I've never played it, but it looks, not to bash on companies, because I don't want to do that, because I do agree with what kind of media's been doing with F-13 and stuff, but you know, when you have a larger company that's been doing it for years and they already had the base game created and just added a really cool DLC, you know, it's simpler and smoother launch. I mean, they have bug problems too, of course. I saw on Twitter that matchmaking problems were out the wazoo, but you know,
you still get that in Call of Duty, and how long have they been around?
Oh my god, yeah.
It's like, and there's still glitches and, you know, server issues. So
Yeah, I've played it, the online one. My brother's actually got it. It's, I don't know, you can either obviously be the survivor with that group for online, or you can just be Myers, and I always pick Myers, but the problem is like, I don't know, it's just kind of the same thing over and over. I don't know if there's different maps or not, but like, I just kept playing the same map. Maybe there's more of them, but you can also
it's
pick...
kind of monotonous.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's kind of a problem too. I will say that, I'm glad you brought that up, is because if you're the type of person that doesn't like repetitiveness or the same maps, I mean, they have 3 maps right now for F-13. They have, you know, so many characters. You know, we have to wait for the DLC to come out to get more maps. I mean, people are saying they want a Manhattan map and things like that, but you know, as of right now, it's the same objective every time. It's the same. The only thing that changes per game is where this stuff spawns to either fix the car or call the police, anything like that. But, you know, once you learn the map, you know, it's, yeah. If you don't like the same repetitive, same old, it's not a game for you. If you're okay with that, then highly recommend it.
Cool. So it sounds like if we're really wanting to play, then it's okay to play right now, but maybe wait another month or so.
Yeah, definitely wait. I mean, if you can wait. If you don't want to wait, then don't. But just be aware that if you're playing on Xbox, now PlayStation's not having these problems. There's a lot of, like I said, dashboarding games freezing, and then you lose your experience points. So, if you're on Xbox, you might want to wait. If you're on PlayStation or PC, go ahead, download it right now. It's a lot of fun. And if not, guys, check out YouTube. There's thousands and thousands of videos on this game. On gameplay, you can see Retro Jason. He looks fantastic. You know, things like that. But, yeah, totally. For Xbox users, you might want to wait.
Yeah, let's also, there's also Scream Factories and Arrow that we're going to touch on real quick, and then maybe like 1 or 2 other releases, but yeah, then we'll jump to the movies. So Scream Factory, you guys probably know what did they release like recently? That's awesome.
I'm not really sure of what's awesome. I know one of their latest releases, in collaboration with IFC, was Don't Knock Twice, which is a Walmart exclusive right now, and then will be available to everyone sometime in August, early August.
Yeah, and wasn't the Autopsy of Jane Doe or something too, or was that one?
Right, that was exclusive to Walmart as well. I believe you can get it anywhere now, or if not, very soon.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you guys pick those up?
I picked up both of them.
I haven't.
Jane Doe, I definitely recommend. Don't Knock Twice. I mean, for like the $12 price point, if you are like me and you just want to have it because it's a Scream Factory and it has a slipcover and all that good stuff, it's worth the price point. But definitely Autopsy of Jane Doe would be the better of the two.
Yeah, I've noticed that too. Walmart's been getting a lot more Scream Factories in. Like, they've been really bumping their horror up. Like, when I've been there the last couple times, like, it's crazy. I didn't think they would ever have that stuff, but I'm like, wow.
Right.
Well, yeah, what is
Fire as well.
Walmart's like bringing movies back. They went back. My local Walmart only has like 90% DVDs, no joke.
Yeah.
And now you're getting Autopsy of Jane Doe, Don't Knock Twice. You got Major Pain exclusive. There's all kind of they have all these Walmart exclusive movies, which is great to see. And I'm glad to hear that. I saw Autopsy of Jane Doe, loved it. Don't Knock Twice. I just picked it up like you.
Yeah, it's okay. It's worth a watch. It's got a couple moments, but the main like hag lady, whatever you want to call her, the creepy old lady in it, kind of reminds me of the figure from like Lights Out a little bit. And it's got a couple creepy moments like that where she's like contorting and things of that nature. And but overall, it's like a 5, maybe 6 out of 10. Just something to watch. But Autopsy, yeah, I mean, they could have ended that a little bit better, I think. But that first 3/4 of the movie, I was just, I had the lights out watching by myself and just chills, a lot of times. But
yeah, it's cool that, like, I noticed too that, like, the DVD, they're throwing, like, a bunch of horror stuff and they're doing, like, collections and then you get the voodoo code, so that's pretty sweet too.
And I picked up Ben, which is another one that they released for $12 from Scream Factory, which is $20 on just Scream Factory site. So
does it come with a slip? Or?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm guessing it doesn't come with a slip though, or is there a slip to it?
No, it's not a collector's edition, so it's just a regular Scream Factory release. But which is the sequel to Willard. But they don't carry Willard, so it's kind of like, well, I can at least pick up the sequel. Definitely the cheapest price you're going to find that.
And then Arrow had, like, there's like one title or something to mention, or?
No, they recently released the Bird with the Crystal Plumage, or Plumage, however you say it, the big box set of that, which is a really, really nice set. I think it goes for around $35. And then next month we get the big box set edition of Reanimator, finally getting a nice edition for the original. They released Bride already.
So they don't.
First one.
Oh, so it's not the collection; it's just the first one. Or?
Right.
Oh, okay.
It's about time they give Reanimator a nice time. Yeah.
All we've had here in the States is that cheap one you get from Best Buy for $6 all day. I know overseas they have a really nice steelbook edition, and I think like a digibook, maybe. There's a couple nice editions of it, but this is the first U.S. release we're going to get that's proper treatment.
It's about time. I'm scared to get into Arrow, because I've seen a lot of you guys pick up some awesome titles.
Yeah.
But I know if I start buying Arrow, it'll be just as bad as my Scream Factory habits.
Now, if you do start getting into Arrow, keep an eye on Barnes & Noble. They do 40-50% off Arrow video sales like they do Criterion.
Oh, that's good to know.
I think it might still be going on right now, if I'm not mistaken. One of our mutual friends, Culture Trini, posted on Instagram. It was 40% off.
Wow.
Nice.
So,
No.
that's definitely the way to get them. They're
Yeah, the only other one I'm going to mention is they have this one movie coming out June 27th. It's called Metal Face. It was originally called Leatherface, so a lot of people didn't know if it had anything to do with the TCM, but I think it's just its own movie. So, other than that, yeah, that's pretty much the news for horror coming out.
Like we kind of touched on a little bit, it does seem like Walmart is catering more towards horror fans. They see where that is where the market is. I mean, as you guys know, I got tons of shirts from there. They're $7 shirts. The Freddy and Jason one, the Pennywise shirt. When they had all the Michael Myers one, the Pinhead. I mean,
and that
they're just really paying attention to what sells. I mean.
Yeah, it just came out of nowhere, too, the shirts. You'd expect it during Halloween, but it's weird that it just come out, like, those shirts just popped out of nowhere, really. You're like, what?
Yep. And they're nice, too.
Yeah,
the designs are great.
Well, because the Pennywise shirt's at Hot Topic, and they want $20 for it, I think. But it doesn't have it on the bottom. That's the only difference I noticed with that Pennywise shirt.
Which, these are officially licensed. I mean, they say the, movie on the tag area.
Yeah.
So they're licensed from the company. But, yeah, they're definitely seeing that's where the physical media is going to endure as well, with them having their own horror section now, and it's expanding, and they see that's where the loyal fans are.
There's not a lie there. I mean, horror fans, I would say, if any genre of movies that have fans, like, the greatest are hands down horror.
I mean, we've all been to conventions as well. We see that, you go to that is, we're just one big family when we get together at horror conventions, Everybody's just the nicest people, and, it's great. It's a great community to be part of.
It seems like the actors and actresses, I know you go to a lot of conventions and stuff, but they always seem to be really super nice, and they really, I don't know, there's something about them that's different. When I've met other actors and stuff from other movies, it's sometimes, the only one I've ever met that was kind of an ass was, can't think of his name, he played, I can't think of the boy's name in Chucky, in Child's Play, the main boy. Just totally kicked out of my head as soon as I was going to say it.
I can't think of his name.
Is it Alex something?
I don't remember.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about. I haven't met him. He's been at a couple I went to, but I just didn't meet him. But, yeah, I've had a couple myself, too. Linda Blair and George Wendt were kind of, But, for the most part, yeah, they're really down to earth. They're really nice people.
I also wanted to mention, too, that Dark History Con. I was thinking about checking that out. That's in Illinois, and I guess it's free, and they have the guy that played Grandpa, John Dugan, is going to be there, so just going to check that out, since it doesn't cost anything.
Yeah, best conventions are the free conventions.
Yeah.
But you'll spend money anyway.
Yep, exactly.
Walk in with, I got enough money, it's never enough.
And then I think, wasn't it Days is coming out next week for you in Indianapolis? Are you going to go to that? Or?
This weekend. I'm probably going to have to work that Friday and Saturday, and we'll try to get there Sunday.
Oh, okay.
Which actually works out because it's less busy, but I just want to meet Matthew Lillard, have him sign my poster as being, somebody that was Ghostface, I guess, per se. And a couple people from Day of the Dead, especially Bob, the main zombie.
Yeah, I noticed I had a bunch of wrestlers, too, at the Indiana one.
Yeah, it's becoming more of a, I wish they would do that separately, but, it is what it is. I guess a lot of horror fans are wrestling fans, too, so, which I know within the YouTube community, there's a lot of them like that, like, I know Outlaw is, and a couple of other YouTubers are wrestling fans as well as horror fans.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So let's start this up then. That's our new segment. Let us know in the comments what you guys think, if you guys want us to keep it or whatever, because everyone else does it, but the thing is with us is we're keeping it short. We're not going on like a lot of other podcasts. They'll sit there and talk about this for like 2 hours, and then like the last 45 minutes is like the movies. So we're going to cut it short for you guys. Tell us what you think. If you want it longer, let us know. But yeah, do you want to start with the remake or the...
Now let's start with the original, man.
Alright, yeah, let's do that. Alright. the original Evil Dead.
1981.
Yep.
Good year.
Yeah, year before I was born.
I think that was a storm of that is
So, you want to start this one, Ted, Michael?
Yeah, it's pretty much, the beginning of the film, it's them driving to the cabin. Is it someone that, I don't know if it's someone that, like, if it's just like a weekend retreat, or if it was somebody owned it, they want to check it out, or, I don't remember. I just remember them, something like that.
Just going there to party.
Yeah, pretty much. It's that whole group, and, you know, it's 3 chicks, 2 guys, right? You have, Bruce Campbell, I don't know the other guy's name, I forget.
Hal Delrick.
Yeah, and then
Scotty.
the 3 chicks, I can't picture, I don't remember the names on them.
I got you. Evelyn Sandwise as Cheryl, Betsy Baker as Linda, Sarah York as Shelley.
Yeah, and it's pretty much they drive out there, and it's kind of in the middle of nowhere. They have like a couple trucks that pass them and stuff, but then it gets more to where it's like nothing pretty much but trees in the cabin. And when I was actually looking at this, is it the same cabin in the remake, or is it different? I don't remember, but it looks a lot like it.
Yeah, they did a good job paying homage to the cabin.
Yeah. So yeah, they go in there, and it's pretty much like they just kind of hang out, and then they see they go down to the basement. Yeah, it's Scotty that goes down there first, right? But is it? I'm trying to think of anything that happens before that. If that happens right away, or I can't remember.
They hear a couple like noises and stuff, and what's her face is drawing up the stairs, and she draws the book. Isn't that right before they go downstairs?
The cellar door opens up on its own. It just.
Oh yeah, you're right.
That's it. You got it. Okay.
Yeah, this is after Cheryl kind of gets possessed first a little bit. She starts drawing all those pictures in that book of like the Book of the Dead, like really bad pictures of it, but still you get the gist of it.
Yeah, and Scotty doesn't go down there, and then he like, yeah. Well, so Ash follows him, Scotty, and yeah, like. I don't know, I just can't think of... I felt like they did something, though, before they even went down there. Is it just... It was Ash, like, giving his girlfriend, like, some kind of necklace or something? I don't know. Maybe that was after.
Nothing really, you know, important to the story or anything happens. I mean... Nothing really happens, so they go down there and they find the book and the recording and everything like that.
Yeah.
That's when it really, you know, starts going.
Did you guys notice the Hills Have Eyes poster down there, too?
Yes.
Yeah, the ripped up one.
Yep.
I noticed that the first time.
Yeah, me too. Like, I've seen this movie, you know, 30 times. I just noticed that. Like,
I freaked out when I saw it. It was like a kid at Christmas. I was like, oh my god.
a lot. That's the thing with horror film. You see that a lot. You know, directors and actors or whoever paying homage to other directors and things like that. I know we've had it. We talked about Elm Street series that they had, you know, things of that nature. And
yeah, then they take the... Like, Scotty tries to scare Ash right when he walks down, because he calls for him, and it's eerie and shit. Like, the basement's all, like... I like the look of it. It's just all, like, grimy kind of, and I don't know. Just, he, like, scares them, and then they find that recording in the book, and whatever. The shotgun, right? That's where they get all the stuff from.
Yeah, the shotgun, the book. Is there anything else they find? Oh, the recorder and all the tapes and stuff.
So yeah, they bring the stuff upstairs, and then they listen to the recording, right? That's like the first thing they dig into, I believe, or they're like, let's mess with it or whatever. And I think they like briefly look through the book or something, like they skim through it or something. I don't remember. something like that.
Yeah, I know the recording really gets their attention. I mean, like, who wouldn't have? If you saw an old recorder and, like, old tapes, like, I would totally dive into that, too. But, yeah, he starts narrating what happened and why they're in the cabin and what's going on. And who is the narrator? They never really say.
Yeah, I'm not sure if it was a relative or what, but yeah, he's talking about some stuff they found on a previous dig or something like that, some artifacts.
It was like a professor or something, I think. I don't know. Like, he brought his wife up to the cabin, and his wife, the demons got her or something. He was talking about it, I think. But he was the one that said those like magic words or whatever, and it unleashed it, I think.
Yeah, which is kind of cool.
Yeah, I think they start like fast forwarding through it, and it gets to that like out of nowhere, it starts doing the seance type thing. And as they're playing the recording, you have the view of like the camera going through the woods and everything.
Yep.
That always freaks me out. That's you just hear that howling.
Yeah. The creepiest part of this movie is the camera going through the woods. That used to scare the shit out of me. Like, I don't know what it is.
Well, it's simple. It's so simple, yet it's so effective. Like, because you wonder what's, you know what I mean? Like, what are you looking at? It's like, whose eyes or what eyes are you seeing through right now? Like, what's happening? And it's so creepy the way they do it.
Yeah, and it's that, even watching it on Blu-ray and stuff today, I mean, it was even creepier on, like, VHS, but having that, like, grain to it and everything, it was just a real eerie feeling when they're outside like that. I don't know, it's just the way that that movie is shot with such a low budget, it made it scarier.
Yeah. Well, I watched actually both. I watched the Blu-ray, and then halfway through the Blu-ray, my stupid Blu-ray remote, the battery died, so then I had to charge another battery. So then, I thought we were doing it last week, so then I threw the VHS in, and, like, it lines it up with the Blu-ray a lot, like with the dark stuff, because the dark stuff on the VHS is, like, pure dark. You can't even really see much.
Yeah, some movies are better on VHS. I mean, I don't know why. I mean, it's what you grew up with, I guess, maybe, or...
And the imperfections.
Yeah, the Blu-ray shows all the imperfections. The VHS hides it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I actually like the Blu-ray, though, more, personally, but I don't know, it didn't really take a whole lot away. Like, I don't know, I like how restored it was. It was just nice. Because I couldn't even make out some of their, like on the VHS, some parts you can't even see the faces that well.
But yeah, I believe the Blu-ray kept enough grain intact to, you know, still give it that feeling.
Well, because I think you can even, on the Blu-ray I had, it gave you the option of having a certain type of...
Yeah, the aspect ratio.
Yeah, yep.
Yeah.
You should do that with all movies. Like, especially
the original or the made for widescreen. Yeah.
Yeah, I totally think they should do that more.
Yeah, I think that was my first time watching it in the new aspect ratio, and it seemed a little bit different.
Yeah, because this is the first time I watched the Blu-ray I had, because I watched the VHS, like, I've seen that, like, a couple times, and I had the DVD, I think I watched, like, once, and then just jumped into the Blu-ray, so it's been some time since I've seen this movie. But yeah, let's go back to it. I'm trying to think, like, what, yeah, they're just dicking around pretty much, and trying to think like that.
It's shortly after that Cheryl gets attacked by the woods themselves.
Yeah, she gets raped by that vine or whatever. The vine gets her, and then she's never the same. Like, she's doesn't she go back in? She's kind of normal for a little while, and then out of nowhere, they're just hanging out, and she like turns around, and isn't that scene, or is she just like goes crazy?
She changes to that her voice and everything.
Yep.
Yeah, it goes from the seance creepiness to she comes back, and then when she gets, I guess it's a force rape. We can say that. I don't even know.
Yeah.
And then she walks in there, And you're right. It's very calm, and there's like nothing. It's like, oh, we're back to partying, playing games, and whatever. And the next thing you know, it's just like on a dime, and I love that. It's like it changes momentum completely on a dime.
I don't know if she, like, did she go in there, though, originally, and then she told Ash or somebody, like, I don't know if she tried to get out, like, I'm trying to think if they tried to escape, or if they waited. It might have been after, like, the first couple demon attacks. Yeah, that was probably after that. I don't know, because they try to go back, and the bridge is all fucked up. I don't remember. Something.
Yeah, I quit taking notes after the forest thing.
Yeah, well, I think...
I had to sleep rewatching it, but...
Yeah, I think that happens during the woods, and then she goes back to the cabin, and then she tries to get Ash to drive her, and then the bridge is down, so they can't leave, and then they just head back, and then maybe that's when she turns, or something.
Yeah, because she doesn't...
It doesn't happen right away.
No, it doesn't, and she's like the only one that really doesn't happen right away. Everybody else kind of, as I guess we'll just say the demon kind of passes itself along, she is the slow one, like turning.
Yeah, I think, like, they go back, right, and then I think Ash fucks with the recording again or something, and then she, like, I don't know if the window or something. I remember a window breaking, and then the demons, or that camera angle goes in, and maybe that's the other chick. Shit. I don't know. I just know she turns, and then all hell breaks loose at that point, because she bites the one dude, doesn't she?
Yeah, they put her down in the cellar before everything.
Oh, yeah, I'm jumping too far ahead. Alright, yeah, they put her down there, and they already have the chains and everything already intact, don't they? Like, it's already there previously.
Right. Which tells you something happened previously in the cabin before they got there.
Yep.
Which all of that, but yeah, Ash, what you were saying, how he does like the research or whatever, he's the one who really like steps up and starts trying to figure things out. Like, he's the one that listens to the recording, and he tries to figure out what's kind of going on. So you kind of get that sense of who the hero is going to be, I guess you could call.
Yeah. Which they usually start out kind of being a weaker one, like in this. He's definitely one that's kind of running away at first, and then has to step up and take care of business.
Yeah. Because Scotty, he gets to the point where he just doesn't really give a shit. He just wants to save himself, kind of. I don't know. But pretty much, yeah, I think, like, she's stuck down there, and then she can kind of control some of the stuff, like, when she's poking her head out, like, I think that's maybe when the window breaks and the one other chick turns, maybe, or someone, I don't know if they got bit and they turn, or if it's the thing that comes through the woods comes in the house.
Yeah, I think the only one that gets bit is Ash.
Huh.
The other ones just get, possessed on their own. But, she has the capability of going back and forth between voices and stuff, like, oh, I'm okay now, and trying to trick people and everything like that.
Yeah, because one of the other chicks turns into the demon. I don't know if it's because whatever, she gets possessed, and then,
they lock up, yeah.
Okay, so I guess when she comes back in after the bullshit, this is what I have. After the forest rape, she'll and them are playing cards, and that's when the demon shows itself, and then everybody lights her off, throws her in the basement, like we said, locks it up with the chains and nails it shut. And then Shelly is the next one to get possessed, it looks like here, and Scott cuts off her hand with a sword.
Yep, I knew she got dismembered, because I felt like, yeah, that happens right away.
Ash's girlfriend, right?
Yeah. And then we're finding, from here, I kind of skipped a little bit, just to kind of help refresh everybody's memory. I said that the evil affects everyone in a different way. So Ash takes Linda to the shed to cut her up and bury her, because I guess at this point he's done his research and finds out that, dismemberment is the only way to get rid of it, and to cut her up, because she's at that point, Linda's affected at that point.
Yeah, that was really cool when he takes out the chainsaw. You're all excited. Yeah. and I don't know. She's got one missing arm, right? And then he was about to cut her up more, but then he doesn't or something. I don't know.
She does that voice again, that normal.
Yeah, she tricks him.
Cheryl in the basement ends up tricking him and saying, help me, and then it was enough to distract him. And it was the one who's sitting in the hallway with that real sinister, evil, high-pitched laugh.
I hated that. The one chick, that noise she kind of made. Yeah, I know what you mean. Mm-hmm. It's annoying.
Because after the demon reveals itself again to Ash in the basement, that's when she starts laughing and says the famous, we're gonna get you.
Yeah. Which that's probably one of the other creepier scenes of the movie.
Yeah.
Just saying that over and over.
Yeah. So I guess basically, it's kind of at this point of the movie, it's repetitive. After Cheryl gets possessed and everything goes down, it's basically Ash does research, figures everything out, and then he ends up trying to figure out a way to stop it. Meanwhile, everybody else is getting possessed and affected by this demon differently, or demons, whatever you want to call it. I always call it a demon. We'll just call it whatever. We'll just call it demon. But anyway. And he ends up figuring out to just, you gotta cut people up, and he tries to do that, but of course they fight back.
Yeah, and I think Scotty, is he the next one that gets possessed? I think he is.
Yeah.
He goes off to the woods and he tries to escape because he's like, fuck you guys, I'm out, or whatever. And he just leaves. And then...
Yeah, then he comes back to the cabin, he's all, messed up and everything.
Yeah, he's all screwed up. Remember, he's on the couch. He's real messed up.
Yeah. I don't think it shows us what happens to him. He just comes back
Yep. Tries to get out.
The gist of it, the woods, screwed him up too.
So after all of that, I guess Scott, since he's injured, he's the last one to turn, and Ash ends up fighting him off as well. And then Ash finds out that if the book is destroyed, it'll destroy the monster, the demon, whatever you want to call it. And he tries to destroy it, but Cheryl escapes from the basement. And then they start fighting for the book. And he tries to throw it in the fireplace in the cabin. And the famous scene where she's beating on him, or is it Scott beating on him? Somebody's beating on him real good. And he pulls out the necklace that he gave his girlfriend. And he's because it was a magnifying glass, the necklace, and he's throwing it, and he finally is able to get the book and throw it into the fire.
Right. Yep. Yeah, I do remember that.
And once he throws it into the fire, the amazing effects, which you gotta love, the claymation of them, of the people dying and melting. It's actually really cool. I mean, if you're into that kind of stuff, the practical effects are brilliant.
Yeah, I think
stop motion.
Yeah, stop motion, claymation, fun, awesomeness.
Well, going back to the chainsaw scene, I think what he does actually with her, he gets distracted, but I think he ends up burying her instead or something. Because I remember him burying. Yeah, and then does he put a bag over her head? No, he didn't do that. That's the remake.
No, that's But yeah, I mean, I don't think they say it in the first one. I can't remember if they say it in the original, but I know in the remake they do say, bury him alive as a way to stop it as well.
There's a couple different ways. Yeah, I think you can burn him, bury him alive, cut him up in the second or the remake, but they give you more ways to do it. But yeah, when he's fighting his girlfriend, doesn't she stab him with a knife or something, Ash? And then just trying to think of what, and then he cuts her head off, I think, with a shovel or something. If you guys know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, see that whole middle part of the movie for me is always blurry because, like you said, there's always so much you miss stuff.
Yeah.
And Ash is constantly, like you guys said, he goes from this wimp to just a straight up badass instead of fighting everybody off and trying to survive and understand what's going on top of all that.
person to play Ash, man. Just his facial expressions alone, just, really make this movie what it has become, such a cult classic.
Yeah, I think too, like, he's trying to, because he was getting attacked by that, or his girl or whatever, and then he throws, like, he has her necklace, and he uses that to get the Necronomicon, and then he throws in the fire, right? That's what the ending is? Okay, yeah, that's what it, okay. I was trying to read my notes, too. I don't know, I only wrote, like, key parts, so.
Yeah, I kind of did the same thing, too. I just have down, like, main, because I was comparing, when I took my notes, I was comparing the remake with the original, so I have a lot of, like, differences between the two.
So, yeah, poor Ash loses all his friends, girlfriend, and everybody, and at the end, he just walks out, and I like that ending. That's a good ending, like, the way it ends, like, and that's a nice day out, I think, at the end there, but, yeah.
Like Doc was saying, man, the end scene, the finale, is just, it's such a mess, but it's such a good mess.
Yeah.
Like, you don't even know what some of the stuff is supposed to be, when the bodies are getting cut up and all that kind of stuff. You don't even know what kind of parts they're trying to make those look like. Everything is just crazy.
Yeah, it was like oatmeal on some of the parts, like.
Yeah, right.
I don't know.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of food usage and everything like that, but yeah, it's just a crazy good time.
And there's a lot of claymation too, like with the demons' faces, like coming undone from the book getting burned. You saw was it stop motion maybe, claymation or something? I don't know, like. Yeah, something like that.
It's kind of like some old Ray Harryhausen type effects.
So yeah. It's definitely a fun film. I don't know, I remember getting it on VHS, renting it way back when, and now I have it on Blu-ray and DVD, like all the, I'm not sure, do they have like a really cool version of this out, or not really yet?
Well, I mean, they got the Book of the Dead editions. Yeah.
But like Blu-ray hasn't came out with like any...
I mean, there's a steelbook. I got the steelbook.
Oh.
But there's no like big, like Arrow edition or anything like that.
They don't have like, yeah, they need like maybe a box set with all of them. That'd be cool.
Yeah, I think there is one in the UK, if I'm not mistaken. But as far as US, I think all we have is the Book of the Dead edition and the steelbook and the regular Hammerite.
Yeah, that's pretty much it then. Do you want to go to ratings or?
Sure. Yeah, I mean, I think overall this is a pretty simple story. I mean, it's, for us not really remembering, it's kind of strange, but I mean, everything just happens, really fast, and it's never boring and everything like that. So it's definitely a really fun watch. I mean, one of my all-time favorites. It gets a 9 out of 10 for me.
Yeah, I give it an 8 out of 10. At first, like, I was kind of actually dreading to go back to watch it because I forgot that it was... I just remembered that girl fucking laughing in that door, and I was like, God damn it, I hope that's not, like, the whole movie. And then I went back and I was like, wow, I'm an idiot. Like, for some reason, that one scene, like, that's what I thought the movie was going to kind of... Just that girl cackling. I was like, shit. I don't know why I thought that, but... It's been that long since I've seen it.
For me, I would have to give it. I have a lot of good memories with it as a kid, and watching it all the time on TV and stuff. So it still manages to scare me at some point, especially in the beginning with when he summons the demon. But I would definitely give it a 9 out of 10. I feel that though, for everybody out there that hasn't seen this movie, it's a movie that you don't watch once. Because you've heard us say about it multiple times that you want to watch it 2 or 3 times because there's always something you miss. And it's definitely a cult classic, hands down.
Right. Yeah, if you had grown up watching it like we did and everything, like you said, if you're watching it for the first time, you may think it's a piece of shit. But you have to respect it for what it is and for the time that it was and everything.
Yeah. I mean, in the second one, too, was that supposed to be Evil Dead 2, is that supposed to be a remake to this one, or is that just the sequel to it? Because I was always confused.
No, it's just the sequel.
Yeah, I was always confused by that, because, like, it goes more into the story, so, like, I didn't know if they... I don't know. I was always confused with that whole thing, and that was just...
Yeah, because it's kind of strange, because, like, you know, I think Army of Darkness picks up more from the first one than the second one, so it's kind of weird.
Yeah, the way they go about it is weird.
Yeah. And you guys actually watched the...
It's almost its own thing.
Haven't you guys watched the Ash vs. Evil Dead? I haven't seen any of them yet. I heard it's good.
Half the first season. I couldn't finish that.
So you didn't like it, or?
No, I did. I had a free preview on Stars. I got the Stars, but I was watching it while I had the free preview, and I didn't have enough time to finish it. So
I see.
I do have that exclusive metal pack thing from Best Buy or
they had it
wherever it was from.
They had the first season at like Family Video for $5. I probably should have picked it up, but I didn't.
Yeah, definitely. I think the second season is getting ready to come out on Blu-ray, so I gotta finish up the first one. I'll probably just rewatch it. It's been so long now. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. Definitely, you know, especially that first episode, you know, getting back into it and everything. But yeah, you guys want to move on to
the remake?
Remake?
Yeah, this one 2013, right? Or...
Yeah.
I actually saw this one in theaters when it first came out.
So did I.
I think I did see this in theaters too. Matter of fact, that you guys say that, because I was all excited for it to come out.
I think we were all really anticipating this one.
Yeah, you guys watched it, I'm guessing, on Blu-ray? Like, I had just the normal, like, Sony Pictures Blu-ray combo with digital copy and all that, but...
Yeah, I know there was an unrated one, but I didn't watch that one. I don't have that one. I'm not sure if it's a U.S. release or not, but I'd like to watch the unrated cut for sure. It's like an extended edition.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have the steelbook of it when I got really lucky when Target released the steelbook, and I was really into steelbooks at the time.
I got lucky on that too. I got it for like $13 off that Facebook group stuff.
You can't beat that.
Yeah. Has like one little tiny scratch on the back, does it? Other than that, it's mint. So, and I have the slipcover Emery. So.
Nice. Yeah, I got the slip too. Like, I got a Family Video. They had the digital code and everything. Like, my wife bought it for me for my birthday one year, and it came with all that stuff. But I think she got it, like, I think they give you like the digital codes at Family Video. If you buy them like within a certain amount of time, you can actually get the slips and all that. 'Cause a lot of times, like you said, they throw slips away and stuff. Like, you don't see them as much.
I know mine sells their digital codes now, so. They were going to start giving them to me too, and then they started selling them, which is crazy. They sell them for like $12.
Oh,
like, holy crap!
Wow.
There's no way. As me and Doc know, man, being on that Facebook group that sells them, like, you know, there's no way they're getting that.
How much do newer movies normally go for the digital code on the group? Like
$5-6 tops. Yeah. Unless it's Disney, maybe 7 or 8.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I mean, TV shows and stuff vary, but your basic releases are like $5 or $6. And they're asking double, so yeah, I don't know. And then what's weird is they'll have the actual physical copy for sale for, you know, 3 for $21 or $12 for the code. Like, really? Anyway, moving on back to we'll call it reboot. You know, as they say in the special features and everything of this one, they weren't trying to recreate the first one. They were trying to make this one their own and everything.
Yeah.
Which they did.
Yeah, it starts out like they, the one druggy chick, she's there with the two friends that drive her previously, and then the brother gets there, and then he's like, I guess he hasn't been home for, I don't know, forever. Don't really know.
Yeah, they're kind of talking about their childhood and how she was taking care of their mom and everything as she was dying. And
He pretty much...
They take her to that cabin to try to get her clean.
Yeah. And they tried like one other time previously or something, it didn't work.
Right. But I guess this time they're really trying because she legally died from like an overdose or whatever recently. So they're really trying to clean her up.
Yeah, I didn't really care. The one actor that plays the brother, I didn't really like him too much.
I wasn't a fan of him either. He seemed dry.
Yeah,
like he's a main character.
Charisma or anything.
Yeah.
I mean, but, you know, they weren't going for an Ash character in this one. Like I say, if you watch the special features, they were leaving that character out of it, so they didn't want anybody, like, real over the top like he was or anything, but he could have been a little bit more charismatic.
Right, and I have to say that I respect that highly, that they didn't try to bring Ash back. Like, they let him be who we know from the 80s, and that was it. Like, that's a big problem I have when they try to reboot or remake movies. It's like, they try to do everything that they did with the original. There's no need.
Like we did, you know, talked about the Elm Street franchise.
Yep,
you know,
Nightmare on Elm.
and failing epically.
Yeah. Yeah, so pretty much, don't they just like get situated and kind of sit around, and she goes through like withdrawals or something. She can smell something dead. I think they have a dog with them too, actually, because the dog starts to pull.
There's a dog, Grandpa. Yeah.
Yeah, they're just trying to, I mean, because they're preparing her to go through detox. And then remember the one girl, actually the one friend is a medical student. So she brought stuff to help with the detox. And so I guess they're just setting up and getting ready for a tough time. Because they know it's going to be hard with her going through detox. She's going to want to leave and fight them. They make that abundantly clear.
Yeah.
Yeah. The brother's even told, you know, she's going to want to leave. Don't, you know, take her home and everything like that from the other friends. And, like you were saying, her senses are apparently stronger than everyone else's, and she starts to smell something that's dead or whatever.
Yeah, and then the dog, I think, rips up the carpet, or they end up doing it because you see that blood splatter into the basement. That's kind of where it starts, really. I mean, other than like just dialogue, and like pretty much before that, I think it's just her and her brother talking. Oh, you weren't there for me, and all this other bullshit stuff that nobody cares about.
I mean, definitely a lot more storyline in this one than the original.
Yeah.
More dialogue and everything.
And the big thing also too that they did do, I noticed that the necklace was given, but this time it's brother to sister.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Which is a big deal too. I mean, if you know, it's kind of like a homage to the original, I would say.
Right. Which I didn't notice when I saw it in theaters because I think it'd been a while since I watched the original. I didn't know the significance of it.
And yeah, they go down to the basement there, and it looks kind of cool because they have all the dead animals, you know, hanging from the bottom there, and that's where that chick got burned in the beginning that we left out. But,
oh yeah, which we didn't even touch on yet. That opening scene was awesome.
Yeah.
The opening scene.
Yeah. The
It's
father.
kind of hard to tell if she's telling the truth or not. Like, you know, she didn't know what happened to her mom and all that, or if it's, you know, the demon trying to play tricks again,
Or if it's just a crazy town burning somebody. You didn't really know it at first, and then you see her turn, and you're like, all right, burn her.
Yeah, so I mean, we see the Book of the Dead, like, right off the bat. She's tied up to that pole and everything.
That's why I didn't really... Yeah, I mean, the Book of the Dead, they didn't really explain where it came from or anything, but, like, was that woman, like... She was using spells from it, right? To, like...
Right.
Yeah, she was accused of witchcraft.
Yeah. And then you can still see that burned stake down there where they burned her. And they find the Book of the Dead, but this time it's wrapped up in, like, a black garbage bag with, like...
Barbed wire.
Yep.
And it's a completely different book this time, and there's a lot of English written in it, you know, over what was already there. You know, it says stuff like, you know, kill the bitch, and all that kind of crap.
Yep. It's, and, like, it's just kind of like, you go back in time when you walk down there, because it just kind of brought you into a whole, like, the beginning kind of, like, it's been sitting there, like, in a time capsule, all that stuff, and then, I don't know, they bring the book up, the recording, I'm trying to think if there was... No
recording in this one, which I kind of missed that, man.
Yeah, I did too.
What you said was the creepy part of it. But yeah, the one kind of nerdier guy starts getting into the book.
Yeah, Eric is his name.
Yeah.
He kind of was the recorder, if you want to think about it, because when he sits down and breaks open he gets through the barbed wire and everything, and he starts reading it, he kind of like tells the story of it, and they show all the pictures and craziness about it, and that's when he's flipping through it, reading it, and he sees that on the one side that there's something written there, but he takes another sheet of paper and does the old pencil trick to reveal what it says.
Yeah, and then he says it, and then they did the angles again with the camera coming through the woods after he speaks it. Just woke up. Like, that demon thing that flies through the woods, they recreated that. What did you guys think of the recreation of that compared to the original? Like, of the... like,
definitely a lot more sleeker and not as scary, not as unsettling.
Yeah. It was cool, but it didn't have the same effects for me that it did for the original movie. It was more modernized, and like Reject Film said, it's more sleek, more planned out, I guess. I don't know how to say it.
Yeah. I mean, you can tell it was shot on, a track as opposed to, I think the original, they were just actually like running through the woods with a camera. Yeah. So you get more of that POV view in the original than you do the remake, I guess.
Yeah.
You get that shaky cam type thing going,
And then since they got the two cars, she, like, bails because she's, like, on withdrawals, and she wants to get out of there, right? Like, and then she runs off with that demon in the woods.
Yeah, she drives away because she's having second thoughts because of the withdrawal, and then as she's driving, she sees the demon, like, it pops up, and then it causes her car to wreck.
Right, to that pond or whatever.
Yeah, the pond or whatever it is.
Yeah, I'm surprised that...
She's restraint or whatever after that.
Yeah. I was surprised, too, that the friends of her, like, she just fucked up their car, and they just go, oh, whatever. They don't even mention it or anything, they just go...
Right. Yeah,
like, I would be pissed. They'd be like, you just ruined my transportation, dude.
Yeah. They just think she's, having the withdrawals and nothing else is going on, and they don't even, like, call anybody or attempt to call anybody about, hey, she just, wrecked my car, and, they're like, oh, well, let's just stay here and keep her going.
Yeah. Yeah, then she...
I guess when they get back, this is a big change for me. I noticed this right away. It starts raining, like, as soon as they get back. She gets infected. I don't think it stops raining, does it?
No, because that's what takes the bridge out, is, we have to wait until, the water clears to leave. So, the demons trap them in that cabin by making it rain like that.
Yeah, and then she, like, turns, like, it takes a while, because she's always the longest one to turn. So, like, kind of like the original, too, she took a while for her to really become the demon thing. Like, she was just sitting in her bed for a little while. Like, it seemed like it took, like, till the nighttime for her to turn or something. I don't know. Like...
Well, yeah, because, if you think about it, they played that off so well. She was infected, but see, the way that her friend saw it as is, oh, well, you're having withdrawal symptoms. This is common. This is normal. We're going to shoot you up with some meds and throw you into the bedroom.
Yeah.
And, you go take a shower, clean up, and do what you got to do. The rest of us are going to drink and, figure out a way to pay for the new car.
Yep.
And that's when she starts to turn, and she goes into the bathroom and sits under the scalding water.
Yep.
Yeah, and that scene that really freaked when you see her skin peeling off of her face, and it was good the way they did it. Yeah, and you know, rewatching this, I'm like, man, I know that chick is going to be the heroine or whatever. And then rewatching, I'm like, well, maybe not, you know?
Yeah.
I remember, I'm like, I know it's got to be her. And then you're like, well, she's possessed. She can't be, you know? But,
yeah, then they, like, doesn't she try to attack him or something? Or, I don't know.
yeah.
They throw her...
She leaves the bathroom. She comes out with something. Is it a hammer or a shovel or something?
Yeah.
I remember her dragging it and like walking, and that's when they're like, yeah, I think it's a shovel, yeah, and they're like, what the hell, you know, that's when they start freaking out and panicking, and the nurse friend, I think her name was Mia, and that's the main girl's name, but hits her with a tranquilizer to calm her down, and she kind of passes out for a little bit, and then they end up, when she wakes up, it's just as bad, and they lock her in the basement like they did in the first one.
Yep. And they actually have to put the...
Before that, they make you clear off all the dead cats and everything like that. Yeah.
Yep.
And that's when they're clearing out the dead cats and everything, doesn't something happen to the dog?
I think that's later. Or he goes under that shed. He's... Yeah.
I just remember him carrying a bag out as he was cleaning it.
Yep.
You know, something with the dog.
Yeah, the dog vanishes for a while. I don't think you see him after... They find him later, but, They like, have to nail in the chains and shit to the floor? Like, they have to...
Yeah.
It's not just there, so...
Now, this time you see them physically, like, nail the chains down and lock it all up.
Yep, and... I'm trying to think, like, she creeps her head out a couple times, but what do you guys think of the overall look of her compared to the original chick? Like, I mean, they put contacts and everything in this one, but I think they did with the original too. It's probably like white contacts or something. I don't know, but I like the original more. Like, if you're gonna, this one, I don't know. The look was just kind of.
Yeah, I mean, for me, you're not gonna outdo that latex look.
Yeah.
Man. I just being such a big fan of that, makeup style. And I know one thing that they kept out of this was that, we're gonna get you thing. She did not do in this one. And, they did that purposely, left that out, because they know that's such an important part of the first one too, the true fans. I mean, I didn't hate the way she looked, but the first one, the original movie, is definitely better.
Yeah.
I think that the way they reveal her in the first one, or the original movie, is so much better than in the remake, because, like, they have the modern medicine, they have all that, and then they knock her out, and then you kind of know, like, once they throw her down there, shit's about to go down. Like, it's going to get real. And when you see, yeah, you're right, like, she looks almost like a zombie to me in the remake.
Yeah.
Like, with there's something about the latex and things, I don't know, it's practical effects for me all the way. I mean, to me, this one overall has a darker overtone to it than the original. It had like a 50-50 with the comedic aspect of it, and over the top. This one was definitely a lot more down to earth, and just a darker film overall.
It had a shit ton of gore compared, like towards the end especially. But yeah, pretty much she's locked down there and she's like saying shit to him, and then trying to think like who's
the girl goes down there, right?
Yeah, she tricks her.
The classic, come save me, I'm scared, it's not me. And yeah, it suckers her into one friend getting down there. But actually, that's before, or is that after? That's after the medical student goes into the bathroom. Yeah, it shatters the glass in the mirror, and it shows like part of her face missing, and then goes back to her normal. So yeah, she shatters the glass and ends up cutting her face. And
then that one, the nerdy dude goes in there and like, she takes that needle out and like stabs him in the eyes and stuff, or.
Yeah, you thank God for glasses, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, real messed up. Yeah, he's the one in this one that gets gets his ass kicked around a lot.
Yeah. How he keeps taking throughout this movie, man, is beyond me.
Well, I mean, she first takes that knife out. Yeah, she takes the knife out, right, and tries to attack him. Then she takes the needle after she sees, and that was for her like withdrawal medicine or whatever, right? And then tries to stab him in the face with it, and then, which actually irritated me a little bit because that would suck, like needle to the fucking eyes. It's a weapon.
Luckily his glasses stop it.
Yeah. Yep. And then they all come save him, kind of, and trying to think if they cut her up or what happens to. What the hell happens to her? The one.
Well, that's when the nerd, after he gets attacked, he's reading, and we were talking about this earlier. When he finds out that you can either kill them by or cutting them up, fire, or burial.
Yeah.
So he actually, when the nerd gets attacked, is when he smashes her face in with the toilet.
Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah.
Beats her, like, that's how because he's freaked. He freaks out to the point. So basically, yeah, he smashes her head into nothing, and then that's when he finds out the 3 ways to get rid of the demon or to kill it. And so we at that point, one person's dead, and then somebody gets affected after that. And we have the classic arm cutting off again with the electric saw.
That's the one that goes down to the cellar.
Yes.
Yep. The girlfriend of
she
the.
bites her arm.
Isn't she the girlfriend of the guy or something? Or.
I don't think
Oh wait, no, she's just kind of like a third wheel chick that's kind of there. Right? Yeah.
Yeah, then she runs into the kitchen because you can see the
Infection.
spreading. And she takes the electric knife and cuts her arm off.
And she's down there in the cellar saying, "Don't cut it off, bitch! Don't cut it off!"
Yeah. I love that scene. Don't you dare kill it!
Yeah, she cuts it off.
She thinks she's all saved after she cuts it off.
Yep.
That was a pretty gruesome scene, too. So.
That was cool.
And it's something that they tried to do, which was very important in the original movie, which in the reboot, it wasn't. They tried to burn the book, and nothing happens.
Right.
Yeah.
So that shows that the book is, I
think it's been reinforced.
Yes.
You know?
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. Yeah, it has like a curse on it or something, so it can't be damaged. And
because they know that's the way they were stopped then. So, I mean, like you say, this is supposed to be its own movie, though. The first one's not supposed to have existed. So, you know, that's just something that they didn't want to make an easy way out, I guess, with this.
Right. So at this point, you have David, who's the nerdy guy who's beat to hell. You have Mia, who's locked in the basement, and then you have the main brother, who's pretty much the Ash role. I don't want to say that because that's so wrong to say, but he's the one who's trying to figure things out. So then
Which we find out at the end, he's not the Ash role, but
Yep.
he's nowhere near it. So then he goes into the basement to figure out, because what's her face, her arm's cut off, and she's just kind of, she's not bleeding out. She doesn't die.
well, yeah, because they won't let her. They need that body.
Right. So who's next in line at that point? Because he gets mad. Remember,
Well,
he
she
gets really
starts
mad.
attacking shortly after she cuts her arm off.
Yeah, she starts to bash him with that tire iron or whatever, and he has to take a shotgun out and blow her head off. I believe, doesn't he? He kills.
That sounds right. I'm sorry. Yeah, that's right. Because I'm sorry, Eric is the one that's close to death.
Yeah, because he gets
David's the brother. I'm sorry.
he gets beat to hell. Yeah, the one dude, and then it's like, how are you still kicking? And then the one dude comes in there and then picks up the shotgun, and
Yeah.
because she was,
As she's beating the brother.
but she also had that nail gun, and then the nerd guy took out the nail gun and used it on her, but it runs out, and he's like, shit.
Yeah, that was a good scene, too. I love the nail gun part of that. It's crazy.
They have a lot of good uses of different weapons and stuff in this one. It's not just like, your typical knife save his sister. And he goes down and he's in the basement. But how does he stalk her? I can't remember how he initially knocks her out.
I think she gets out, doesn't she? Like, somehow, and then he goes down there after she gets out. Like,
I believe he injects her with a bunch of that stuff, right?
I think that's it has to be the tranquilizer. He has to inject her with the tranquilizer, and then he wraps her up in plastic. He takes 2 of the needles and a car battery, takes her outside.
Which was touched on before, remember, at the beginning. That's how they had to bring her back to life off an overdose. They had to use, I can't think of what it's called. What is it?
Tranquilizer?
Defib, yeah. They had defib her last time, so that's what triggered his mind to, make a makeshift defib unit.
yeah, and that's
pretty cool watching him do that.
and he does that in the shed, and that's when he finds the dog, right? Or
Yes.
okay.
Yeah, so then after he buries it, or he takes he makes the defib, he does all that good stuff, and he digs a big hole, throws his sister in it, and buries her alive.
No, wait, like, you're right. I think Dan was actually right with the dog. It was earlier because he brings the dog into the house and then he blames her. You killed him to the chick that. Shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh well, it don't matter.
That's why
He finds the dog dead and realizes that she killed the dog or whatever. But
Yeah.
the dog's one of the lesser important aspects of the movie.
Right. But now, doesn't she, when she starts to wake up when she's being buried, and that's when she acts like Mia again and starts saying, oh, how could you do this to your sister? What's wrong with you? Help her.
Yeah. And he's like, you can see that he has to struggle to go ahead and proceed with this, and and then she switches back to the other voice after they realize that he's going to go through with it.
Then he buries her completely, and then lightning strikes the tree and catches on fire. Isn't that when he realizes that she's dead?
The lightning strikes the tree before, and that's where he figures out where to bury her.
Okay, because I remember the lightning being a significant moment.
Yeah, and then after she comes back to life is when the fire from that tree goes out. I do believe.
Yeah, 'cause he brings her back by the makeshift defib, which is really cool. I really like that scene a lot.
Yeah, he brings her back, and then she's normal again, and then he has to go back inside because he needs to get the keys so he can drive her away, right? And then the one dude's possessed at that point when he goes back in.
Yeah, David finally got possessed at that point.
Yeah.
Oh, so we skipped over the whole fight in the basement, right?
No, isn't that? Oh yeah, because David.
Yeah, you're right.
That's where David gets
David gets infected.
Yeah. Because David was down there, it was a bunch of water, I remember, and like David and them David actually saves them because she's drowning her brother, right? And that's
Yeah, exactly what happens. And I guess for all the listeners too, just to touch on both of these movies, and it's one thing it has in common, a lot happens in a short amount of time. A lot. So it's kind of hard to recall unless you're physically watching it. It is kind of hard to recall every step.
Yep.
Unless you do what we didn't do and write everything down that happens, but it's kind of hard to write down everything that happens because at the same time you're trying to enjoy the film as well. So you're taken away from what you're viewing as you're writing. So,
Right. But yeah, so David got infected in the basement. He ends up saving Mia. Or Eric gets infected in the basement. David saves Mia. Mia comes back. They're trying to get out. And here comes Eric to stop them once and for all. And when does... There's more to it.
Yeah, because the demon, after he possesses the nerd guy, they need like one more possession, and then the one demon comes out of the dirt.
Oh, that's right. So
And then-
once he gets killed, yeah.
Yeah, because he blows up the cabin, like the brother, because he can't stop the one demon, the one possessed dude. And then I don't know if it's so many die or something, or so many possessions.
Yeah, he shoots the gas tank with the gun. He had poured the gas and stuff earlier.
Yeah.
But didn't go through with it. And then comes back to it.
And then the demon awakes, the one in the dirt that comes out, which I wasn't really a big fan of, the skinny, like, long-haired demon-looking dude. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, it was a little weird for me because, like, I mean, especially for the original values on not actually seeing what the demon is, it's just how it manipulates people and turns them into something that they're not. And this one, once everybody dies, it's weird. Yeah, it doesn't. It's like, hey, I'm finally awake after all these years.
Yeah, it's just the one main demon as opposed to just, you know, them existing through other people and stuff like the original.
Yeah, and then she...
It kind of just had that generic horror look to it, you know, that's used in a lot of film.
Right, and they used that generic, like, oh, it's gonna rain blood.
I like the rain of blood part.
I like it, but I like it. It's effective, but it's to me, it's one of those generic moves that, because at this point they did such a good job with, like, coming up with, like, crazy stuff. It's like, you're gonna make the blood, you're gonna make, you know, the sky turn red and have it like it's a seance almost. Like, that's a little weird.
Yeah, I mean, I thought it was pretty cinematic though. I mean,
it was. It definitely was.
Yeah, that demon thing comes out, and then doesn't she run in and get the chainsaw and shit? Like, she gets weapons, right? Or
yeah, Mia is the one who starts kicking ass,
and then she has that truck fall on her
and crushes her hand. Yeah, rips it right off.
But you get that kind of, you know, ash filling there, you know, losing the hand.
Yeah.
Another homage. Yeah, another homage.
Man, that was pretty gruesome when she's pulling that hand out, though. You know, I can't even imagine having to do that.
Yeah. Because doesn't she originally throw the car on the demon, and the demon throws it back on her or something, or he knocks the car over?
She's hiding underneath the car.
Or something, yeah. It falls on her.
Because she's trying to get the chainsaw going.
Oh.
The demon's not very strong yet, so it can't move very well. Like, you get that impression, like, when it crawls out, it's just not fully there.
Yeah.
Like, it's alive, but it's not strong. Yeah. Well, it does flip a car, though.
Yeah.
Strong.
How does it go? Yeah, how does
Jeep doesn't weigh much.
True. But then when she fires up that chainsaw, and you see it right through the middle of the, or right through the chest of the demon.
Yeah, I love that scene.
That was a badass scene, yeah.
Definitely the best of the movie.
Yep.
And the blood's just spraying all over her, and it was just shot so well. Like, they picked the perfect angle and everything.
The gore is just awesome on that part, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, overall, it's pretty gory, but that one's, you know, that's the only really, like, kind of over-the-top gore that it had, though, as opposed to the original. It was all over the top, but that was the only, you know, right aspect of the gore.
There was also another part, too, that we left out. It was, she begged her brother to, like, leave, and then instead of a bridge, it's, like, fucking flooded in that one area, so they can't get out, because they attempt to get out of there earlier, but it doesn't work.
Yeah, which I touched on a little bit when Doc was talking about how it just started raining.
Oh,
Yeah.
I forgot about that. They're just stuck, and then I think she just ends up walking out, like, leaving, like, just by walking, doesn't she? Because all the cars...
It just ends. It just stops.
The rain stops, the sun comes up, starts to come up a little bit, and she's like, well, I guess I'm sober now.
I mean, that's one thing these movies don't do. Either one of them is leave it open for a sequel. They don't give you any kind of, you know, something still alive or anything like that. They both just end.
Yep.
Which I think, you know, all movies should do it like that, you know, and if there is a sequel, there is a sequel, but don't give us something and then not give us a sequel.
The only thing like that kind of bugged me with this movie was I didn't really like that he brought her back to life too much, like, and then she was normal again. Like, I would have been better off he just killing her or something, but then again, I didn't really care. Like, I liked her character more than I did him, so then it was like a trade-off. It's like, get rid of the shitty guy character for her, so I don't know.
She was pretty badass. I mean,
yeah, she was badass, but I think the reason why they did that, I can understand why you didn't like it, but the reason why I picked up on why they did that was she had to, like, die to... Basically, she came back as a new woman, and she was, like, she put her demons at rest, and she was no longer going to abuse drugs or those kind of things, so it was kind of...
Literally and metaphorically produced to rest, yeah. She has both the demons.
Yeah,
I mean, it's a better trade-off, though, because she's better than the dude, so it was like, okay,
right.
let's trade them.
Plus, she came back strong. Like, when she came back, once again, they did the whole, here is someone who abuses drugs, and she's weak, and she needs help, to the hero, who is the, hey, you know, I came back, I kick ass now.
I can serve a purpose, you know, in life.
Which was awesome. I have to say, I respect the reboot. It's one of my favorite reboots that's ever been done. I respect it a lot. I think it's a must-watch, especially modern horror. Like, you know, I know I have friends and family that's kind of really, like, touchy on horror. Like, it has to be a modern horror with, you know, and they all love this one.
A theatrical release and everything. I mean, for being a movie that was put out in theaters and everything, I mean, to have that amount of gore and all that kind of stuff to it, you know, you don't see that a whole lot.
Mm-hmm.
No.
And like I said, I have a whole thing of respect for this movie because they didn't try to do Ash. They gave a lot of the nods and homages to the original, but they did it in a very respectful manner, and they didn't try to. It wasn't. I don't know. It was Evil Dead. It was like watching Evil Dead, but
yeah. Which, I mean, Bruce Campbell was one of the producers on it, so...
Did you see Bruce at the end, guys, if you watched?
Yeah. It says groovy.
Yep, right at the end. I actually didn't see that, because in the theaters I left, you know, and then I heard about it, and I was like, oh, shit. And then I just finally saw it this time when we watched it. I waited that long to see that ending part, but oh well.
And I thought there was something in the credits, you know, rewatching it, because I stayed through the whole credits at the movies, and... Man, it's such at the very, very end of the credits.
Yep.
I'm like, come on.
I think they did a fantastic job with it. And I wish, just kind of going off topic a little bit, but I wish they would do more reboots and remakes like that. And the only one I see in the future that's going to be that way is the new It movie. I feel like it's going to be a lot the same, but it's going to be a lot
of its own.
More directed on the book side. I mean, when Stephen King tweeted out that I saw it and I absolutely loved it, I mean, we're talking about the man who wrote the story that is behind it all 100%. So if it's up to his expectations, then you know it's going to be a damn good movie.
Yeah. And like with this, you know, like I said, you know, Bruce Campbell and one of the other producers being a producer on this one, they got their... Bruce Campbell was completely against a remake or reboot or anything of Evil Dead. And then once he, you know, read the script and everything like that, you know, he started putting up his own money to fund this film to get made.
Yeah, it's all about respect, and they did. They respected Bruce, and, wow, that was cool. I forgot that he was a producer. I totally forgot about that. But, you know.
I mean, to get his approval, though, is amazing, especially being, you know, a definite no on it to begin with, and having to, you know, earn that from him. And, you know, they say... You know, we don't want an Ash character, and he says in the features, you know, if there was going to be one, it would be her, and he approves her of being the new Ash. You know, it was pretty cool.
Yeah. What do you guys? You guys want to go to ratings then?
Yeah. Sure.
All right. Yeah, I gave this one I'd say 6.5. That's what I'd give it. Like, it's not, like, I like the original a lot more, but yeah, it's its own movie. But yeah, I remember in theaters it was amazing, like, I loved it a lot, but then I watched it again, and then it's still a good movie. It's just, I don't know. What do you guys think?
I know for me, I saw it in theaters as well on release day. I thought it was a complete piece of shit. I hated this movie when I saw it. But I went into it as a remake of, one of my favorite movies. And so it had like a 2 for me at first. And then rewatching it, for this podcast, it's the first time I've watched it since. And set all that aside and went into it with an open mind. And I really enjoyed this one more the second time.
Yeah, I was the exact same way. The first time I watched it, I didn't hate it. I didn't hate it by any means. I was just like, yeah, whatever, it's your typical horror movie or whatever. But second, third, fourth time I watched it, I seemed to like it more and more. So I really respect it as a good reboot. And
it's weird because the first time I watched it, I liked it more, and then I watched it, it was kind of different for me. Like this time, it kind of went down a peg, but it's still, because I forgot a lot of shit that happened. Like I didn't really remember it, but yeah, what would you guys give it for ratings?
I think this one had like a slower pacing than the original. I mean, they both move quickly, but this one was definitely a little bit slower and a little bit more story driven. Overall, I'd probably give this one about a 7 out of 10. Just, I did really enjoy the gore. I did appreciate it more this time. And watching the features definitely improved that as well.
I'd give it the exact same thing. Because if you would have asked me the first time I watched it, it would have been nowhere near that. But, yeah, I would definitely give it a 7. It doesn't live up to the original, but it's definitely its own movie. I have a lot of respect for it, so... It's a good watch.
I think this and probably the Hills Have Eyes remake are definitely, and Texas Chainsaw as well, probably some of the better remakes of recent times.
Yeah, for sure.
But we'll get more into those. We'll do more remake versus original episodes coming up.
Yeah, just give us some feedback and let us know what you guys think, and go from there. Suggest a title to us, and we'll try to do it.
And we promise we'll take better notes on the next one.
Yep.
Which we're usually pretty good on. But
Yeah, we usually are. Yep.
Expected everyone to kind of remember enough to where we can play off each other as opposed to taking notes.
Yeah.
We've all seen at least the original so many times. And then, I guess, put on the spot, we couldn't really remember as much as we thought we would. You got anything else, Doc, you want to say?
I just appreciate you guys having me on. This was fun. And, yeah, thank you so much.
Yeah,
Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, you're welcome to come back anytime. I feel like if we do something else, like another remake, or it just depends if how much we're doing. Because we did those franchises for a while. I think we'll probably take a break from those and just kind of. They take a lot of time. I mean, I'm trying to think what the next one would be if we're
I
gonna.
think the next one we talked about
Was House or okay, Warlock. Yeah, we're not sure yet. I guess. Yeah, because if we did.
Definitely leave any suggestions you guys want on future episodes, and as always, I know on my channel I'll leave links to Dead Michael and Dr.Movie91, and make sure you guys subscribe to the guys as well.
Yep. Make sure to comment on our video and give us a review. You can either do this on iTunes, Stitcher, SoundCloud, Mixcloud, Podomatic, or Spreaker. So make sure you check out any of these and leave reviews or comments. That would be great for the next episodes coming up, so we can get an idea how you guys feel and what you guys want changed. If you like the news segment, if you don't like it, let us know, and we'll be able to figure it out from there. Make sure you subscribe to Dr.Movie91. He's on YouTube. And then also, like you mentioned, he's got his own podcast and everything, so make sure you check him out. So, yeah. Subscribe to everybody, and we'll see you guys next time.